Wednesday. Celtics missed more threes than a blackjack player with an 8 showing. I get that reference, right? That's pretty good.
And hey, in case you don't, that's a lot of threes.
Yes.
The Celtics, notorious for living and dying by the three, and generally it's been more of the former than latter. But yesterday against these Knicks, who have yet to beat the Celtics, 0 for 4 in the regular season. So this was spelling doom for New York, except the ball wasn't falling at the TD Garden. Sam Hauser, no. Josh Hart, coast to coast, yes. They were down by 20. Were these Knicks halfway through the third quarter? Tatum, no. Josh Hart to OG Anunoby, yes. The Celtics missed an NBA playoff record 45 three-pointers in this game. Yes, they hit 15 of them, but again, 45 misses. There's a miss right there. Karl Anthony Towns there for the putback. So the Knicks down by 4. 6 minutes left to play. Anunoby maintains his balance, and that's just great ball movement. Jalen Brunson, one of his triples. The Knicks hit 17 threes. They only took 37, so their game far more balanced than JB over Al Horford. Got it. I mean, Mr. Clutch himself, with 3.5 minutes to play, just gave the Knicks a 3-point lead. Scratch that. Make it a 6-point lead. Brunson, 5 of 9 from 3. He had 29 points. And so did OG Anunoby. But first, let's get a little Derek White. So one of the 15 threes Boston was able to hit. So they're back up 98-97. And then it's OG Anunoby in the corner, all alone, 3 of his 29. So the Knicks back up top, 100-98. On the other end, Drew Holiday is back from that right hamstring injury. Just 2 of 34 points in the paint for the Celtics. We're tied at 100 off the inbound. That's a good look for the win off the glass. Jalen Brunson, just a little bit too much weight room. And you got to think, Drew Holiday there as that primary defender coming back from the hamstring. Listen, it was decent defense. Brunson had a good look, and then Mikal Bridges just took over in overtime. Knicks were up 106-100 at that point, and then Jaylen Brown. That cuts the deficit for the Celtics to 3. It's 108-105. Again, the Knicks have yet to beat the Celtics this season. Jaylen Brown gonna get a look. You heard the whistle. He was going up, except they didn't call it a shooting foul. So the inbound here, Jalen's gonna get another look from Derek White, but Mikal Bridges was like, nope, that's mine. With 2 seconds to go, just heaves it down the court, and that is how New York went on the road, took care of business, and for the first time, regular season, postseason this year, beat the Boston Celtics. Senior NBA writer Brian Windhorst was there at the parquet in Game 1. Let's take a look back at what we saw last night, and we saw a whole bunch of missed threes, Windy. At what point does Joe Mazzulla sort of have to recalibrate this offense when the 3-ball is literally shooting the Celtics out of the game?
Well, Gary, I researched the laws here in Massachusetts overnight, and there's no law that says he must change. And I do not think that he will change. This is how they won the championship last year. This is how they got to 61 wins this year. Now, this was a little bit out there, even by Celtic standards, of how this went down. And I think when they review the film, which they promised that they would do as they would evaluate what happened here, they will see that many times they ran good offense that generated matchups for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown on bigger or slower players where a drive would have been advisable, and they bailed the Knicks out with a bad shot. Now, I have been to Celtics playoff games before where they have taken threes and lost. Nothing like this. And they have always leaned on the process and said, this is who we are. I will say last night their defiance was a little softer. Joe Mazzulla allowed that maybe there were 8 to 10 shots that weren't ideal. That for him is a concession.
Okay, yeah. 49 shots the Celtics took in the second half in overtime. 37 of them were 3-pointers. They got an opportunity to bounce back. Game 2 tomorrow night in Boston. Windy, hang tight. Randy, what you got?
All right, let's go out west because call it a comeback here as well. Game 1 in OKC, rested Thunder. Gordon over Chet Holmgren at his size and strength over length. Being a thin mint, the Nuggets would trail by 10, though. 42 points, 22 rebounds, and 6 dimes. And it's a 1-point lead for the Thunder, though. Chet Holmgren fouled. Okay, you get it and takes home court advantage from the top-seeded Thunder. All right, we have a comeback of our own here with Brian Windhorst. Battle of MVP candidates, Windy. How did Jokic get the better of SGA in round 1?
Well, I felt SGA played really well, including in the fourth quarter, but down the stretch, and this has been when the Thunder have had losses, it's been when their offense has let them down. They got an 11-point lead with 4 minutes to go on a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander basket, and then they went 1 of 8. And you just can't do that against Denver because Jokic, especially when he's on, keeps scoring. As good of a defense as the Thunder have, they don't have an antidote for Jokic, especially when he's got that outside shot on like he had down the stretch of this game. There was also some tactical decisions that the Thunder may regret, fouling a little bit too early when leaving the Nuggets time. And always, when there's a comeback in the NBA, and this is without fail, guys, there's always a missed free throw or two. And the Chet Holmgren misses were crucial in allowing the door to be open. But the margin for error against Jokic when he's playing well like he is right now is very small. And the Thunder just learned that lesson.
And playing at a historic level for Jokic, third player with 40 and 20 in this series opener. Wilt and Shaq are the Knicks win game 1, 108-105. This man's all smiles. NBA analyst Alan Hahn is with us. Now turn down the brightness on your TV when he smiles. How will Boston's dependence on the deep ball, Alan, how will that impact him in this series?
Not at all. This is who they are. This is what they do. It's really amazing when you think about it. You know the saying, live and die by the three. Mm-hmm. The Celtics live more than they die. But last night, that was killer for them. 32 missed uncontested threes in this game. 32! The fact that you got 32 was amazing. That's why for them, after the game, sure, they're going to look at it and say maybe there were a couple of times they could have taken it into the paint. They could have tried to draw fouls. In the first half, they were drawing fouls. Second half, they were settling because they were getting open shots. I mean, if you were getting open looks like that, you're going to take them too. They expect to make them for the most part. I don't think it changes anything. I think for the Knicks, you left the door open, and that's a Knicks team that's proven if you leave the door open for them, they're going to take it, they're going to run through it, and they're going to steal a win, which is what they did in game 1.
Clutch time massively in favor of the Knicks, outscoring Boston 19-8 in that frame. Allen, stay close. Gary, what do you got?
Yeah, we'll see if the Nuggets can go on the road to a very well-rested Oklahoma City Thunder team. Haven't had the hoop in 8 days. Aaron Gordon makes 2 free throws. The Nuggets are within 1. Chet won 119 is your finalist. Allen is back with us. So Gordon, of course, he is the hero, but shocker, Nikola Jokic makes history again. The 4th player with a 40, 20, and 5 playoff game. What did you see from him specifically, Allen?
Oh, determination, which what we've really seen this from him late in the season, especially in the playoffs as well. He tends to be stoic a lot of the times, but there was an extra emotion in him. Third quarter, he really was looking for fouls. He was getting frustrated with the officiating, started playing through it. At one point, it was like he had 28 points. Then you look up, it's like he had 40? Like, when did he get to 40? It just happens so quick. He dominates the game, and his teammates feed off of him. He makes the big 3, which really gives you that feeling that they can get this game. And missing those 2 free throws, that's a young team, Chet Holmgren, missing those 2 free throws, again, just like with the Knicks situation, you leave the door open for a veteran team with championship pedigree, they're going to take it. And last but not least, when was the last time a guy had a game winner on a dunk and then a game winner on a 3-point shot in the same playoffs? Can we look that up, please?
Aaron Gordon going to be the answer to that trivia question. I got a quick follow-up for you. Which home team that lost in game 1, not expected to lose in their game 1, do you see bounce back in a bigger way, the Thunder or the Celtics?
Wow, both. Can I give both, or is that a cop-out?
Yeah,
because I do feel like
you make the rules.
Yeah, I do feel like both these teams will bounce back.
Yeah.
But especially the Celtics, because I think they're going to keep jacking up threes, and they're not going to hesitate.
Yeah, it was funny because the Celtics took 63 threes in a regular season game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They only hit 20 of those. So look at that Venn diagram closing in on everybody.
Wow. Xin chào các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục đi tô màu để gửi tặng đến các bạn. Để làm được video này mình cần chuẩn bị những dụng cụ như sau. Đây là những sản phẩm mình chuẩn bị sẵn đây là những hình thù mình chuẩn bị sẵn.